So it's been roughly around 6 months since I've had the lovely Nikon Z30. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I absolutely love, hate, adore, and wished that could be improved with this lovely camera. But if you want my actual full in-depth detailed review of the Nikon Z30, go watch that video. I'll link that in the description and in the comment below, guys, as well as my full comparison between the Z50 as well as the Z30. So after 6 months of using my Nikon Z30, as you can see, I'm using it right now. Beautiful, right? I have well lit myself, backlit with the flat, neutral toned profile picture. Color grade, that looks amazing for an entry-level APS-C camera sensor, especially that I'm only using the kit lens. This camera shoots 4K, 30 frames per second, slow motion, 120 frames, beautiful. I would say average in terms of autofocus. If you're in a well-lit environment or you have really good lighting, autofocus, perfect. But if there's multiple faces in it, as well as low light, that's where the Nikon Z30 starts to struggle. With the update of the Nikon Z50 having its own eye detection as well as face tracking, it pretty much puts point to point the camera. But I have a full video on that on both of the comparisons. So after using the Nikon Z30 for 6 months now, from everything from cinematic to photography to videography to my own YouTube personal channel at Broke the Habit, at BTH Peter, link description below. Help me help you. Follow me to let me know and learn about me up close and personal. What I really love about this camera is that it finally has a flippy outie screen that all of us Nikon users has been screaming and begging for the longest time. It has great features like a tally light, very eccentric focus towards the overall content creator economy. You have a bunch of function buttons, your FN1s and 2s, as well as you have the ability to have USB powered by a power bank so you can have unlimited record time, as well as extended batteries. The downside of that is that you don't have a dummy battery option yet. A lot of people can also use the Nikon Z30 for streaming capabilities. But let's get into the very gripe of what I don't like about the Nikon Z30. First and foremost, I do not know why. You guys let me know out there if anyone has the same experience, but the Nikon Z30 uses the exact same batteries as the Nikon Z50. As you can see, there's a focusing. It's not focusing right now. There you go. These are the lovely ENEL25. And in comparison to my Nikon Z50, putting these batteries into my Nikon Z30, it eats it up like cookies. What I mean by that is I do not get as much usage when it comes to filming entire video log with my Nikon Z30 in comparison to my Nikon Z50. Or maybe it's just me. I go through changing 2 to even 3 batteries within, let's say, an hour and a half of 4K recording time. That's something that I do not like. The fact that the battery isn't that great on this camera. So be aware of that. The other thing where I don't like about the Nikon APS-C lineup is, as you already know, there is not a great lens selection. So you're spending $1,000 on an entry-level camera, and although within the Nikon lineup, you can also use the full mount cameras, the FX lenses for these, you're looking at spending almost double the price for an APS-C body in terms of the lenses. So in terms of lens selection, you got this 50 to 250 kit lens, and you have this kit lens. And of course, you can use the F-to-Z adapter, but the autofocus isn't that great. So I am hoping for the future that they will continue to create more budget-friendly APS-C lenses for the Nikon Z30. Or someone like Sigma or Tamron or any of those other third-party companies creates more APS-C lenses like at 1.8, 1.4, 1.2. You know the deal. But for the most part of this camera, autofocus is great. Like I already said, low light isn't the most reliable, but if I'm well lit, I know for the most part that it will actually get me in focus. It has eye detection. If there's another face, might get a little distracted. You might need to be center focused. I've had issues where I recorded a vlog and I was not in focus, even though I had face detection turned on. I've had times where the snap bridge did not work, but that's not necessarily the camera itself, but that's the app itself. So you're probably wondering, do I still recommend this camera? Hell yes. This camera is one tier above the Sony ZV-1, which is a much smaller sensor size, and it's on the same par of the Sony ZV-E10. I really, since I'm so familiar with the Nikon lineup now, color science of Nikon cameras just looks much more better. IMHO. This will be my vlogging camera, my go-to setup when it comes to filming any sort of my own personal and this YouTube channel. But you guys let me know, what do you like? What do you hate about the Nikon Z30? Would you much rather wait for the Nikon Z50 Mark II? Or what are we getting from the Nikon Z60 or 70 or whatever is rumored to be? What do you guys like? What do you guys hate about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn and get the full guide of how you get the most bang for your buck, best quality, what's the proper setup, what is all the equipment you need, link description for all my resources to help me help you. My name is Peter. You're watching Broke Visionary Collective, where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers, guys.